So there's a couple things to get out of this comment I'm about to read. His reply, and number one is just kind of his take on this whole question about money and motivators. Number two is, I think, the very civil and excellent way that he approached, a criticism that had come to him through his blog. So here's what he said. He said, "I just saw your post that you were referring to is one that I put back in July of 2008 in the Academy. It was the first post I ever made there right after the Academy opened, and at that time I was still forming my ideas about my internet business, what it was all about. However, you're actually asking several pretty good questions. I think that most people start an internet business with the goal of making money. That's usually the point of business, to make money. For me, making money is about personal freedom to do the things that I want to do. What your passion is and why you have a business can be two different things. I'm passionate about helping and teaching people, internet marketing and technology. So my business at masonworld.com is about helping people be successful in internet marketing. Of course, it helps to have business goals, and one of the more common ones to set is income targets. That doesn't mean that making money is my only passion. But when I wrote that post, I was still trying to get my arms around what my business was about. The Academy is a great place to do that, to figure this all out. My thinking on this is still evolving. To answer your last question directly, I plan on making money by helping people."
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's a great response. He answers the question and takes it head on. So I guess there's a couple questions that I want to bring forward and that have your take on, Sterling, and give my take on as well. One is, I guess, if just pursuing money is an adequate motivator, or what is the best motivator for succeeding in internet business, and kind of talking about that a little bit. Now, I've definitely found in the past when my decision making and my motivation is purely the money, I actually have typically made some of the stupidest choices in my business, usually because it has to do with taking the really safe route, the very conservative route. It's more out of desperation and reaction, trying to get the quick money now rather than making decisions that are really have a broader aspiration, making decisions that really move towards what I want in a broader sense for my life, not just about, paying the bills now and having money now. This is a big reason why we have everybody in the Academy define their definite major purpose right up front. What is the major thing that they want to achieve in life? And then additionally to that, list all the fulfillment factors that they need to have present in their life in order to really feel happy. And, to give examples, again, we've mentioned this before, but in this context, my definite major purpose is to help others to find increased freedom in their life. I know I'm happier when I have increased freedom, and there's lots of areas of your life that you can find freedom, from your own mental baggage and your own thoughts and self-esteem, freedom financially, because money is just a fact of life, freedom in society that you live in, freedom in the relationships that you have and that you choose, and the way that you build or nurture or develop those relationships. So freedom is a broad sense. Now, the very specific place that I have chosen to help people find increased freedom in their life is to help them start their own business because of the flexibility that offers, because of the financial scalability that does have. And in our society, money does equate to choice. It equates to having more options, more choices, and being able to pursue a greater number of things on your fulfillment factor list. So, my purpose is to bring freedom to myself and help others bring freedom in their life. Some of the fulfillment factors that I have in my life are teaching people. I'm happy when I'm teaching people, and so I feel very fortunate to have found a business that brings me more freedom, but also allows me to teach, which is one of my unique abilities that I have, something that makes me happy, something that I thrive off of. And so I've matched all those things together in the businesses that I have pursued in my life. So money is a byproduct, and it is a motivator only in this essence that it leads to freedom. And I know I have very specific things I want to do with that freedom in my life. I have a whole list of the things that I want to, just having freedom is not enough. You have to deliberately be exercising that will and freedom towards things that you have chosen that will bring you happiness. But that's kind of my take on whether pursuing money, I guess what I'm saying is money I have found is not an adequate motivator. You need to know, well, what is it that you want that money to bring you? What is your definite major purpose? What are the fulfillment factors that you need to have? And money is just one factor that works into those things. What's your take on that, Sterling?
Well, I think that, I believe that actually personal happiness is what we're all striving for in the end. At the end of the road of all these things we may want or want to do and all that is to feel happy. And I think that freedom is got to be one of the most important keys to happiness, whether that's, mental freedom, financial freedom, or even political freedom, some of the stuff we were just talking about. And so, that's why freedom is actually one of the main parts of my definite major purpose, along with fulfillment and inspiration. And you and I have obviously worked really well together because our purposes are so similar, if not really, like almost exactly the same. And to me, money's just, as you said, a type of freedom. For me, money usually transfers into time and location freedom. And so that's just how I look at it. When I choose to use money, I always ask myself, is this thing I'm going to buy going to bring me more or less happiness? So to me, that's, I base all of my decisions around that kind of thing. Am I going to get more fulfillment, more happiness, more freedom from this? So as you can imagine, I don't buy a lot of junk things or a lot of, I don't know. I'm not a big spender at all because I filter it through this process. And most of the time I can actually say, no, this isn't exactly going to bring me more happiness or fulfillment. A lot of times it's like, well, everybody else seems to want this. So I guess I'm supposed to. I mean, it's taken me a long time. It took me a long time to finally get an iPhone, and now I'm really glad about it. But I don't have a Kindle. I don't have any of that extra stuff because, I filter all this information through, is this going to make me more happy? And for me, also inspiring people to strive and achieve freedom, that's the mission I'm on. And one of the ways I do it is through Internet Business Mastery. So that's, as far as money goes and what I actually, what actually motivates me, it's that mission for teaching people freedom in the same way you do and Mark Mason's talking about. The money is just, that's just the way you exercise the freedom or you get more freedom.
Right. And actually that brings up, I think, an excellent response that another Academy member had, whose name is Rich, and he posted the following comment. I'm going to go ahead and jump forward to this because it's very, it relates directly to what we were just saying here. So here's what he had to say. He said, I think this comment on Mark's blog reflects a common confusion that many people have about money and how a person obtains money. Missing from this conversation is the discussion of Missing from this conversation is the discussion of what difference a person can make in the world if they have no money worries, compared to what they can accomplish if they always need to worry about paying their next bills. I thought a lot about this issue long ago when I decided to become a doctor. I was determined never to be thought of as a greedy doctor, as only wanting to become one in order to make a lot of money. I went so far as to not take business classes in college and only focused on the science of being a doctor. Well, I woke up when I went deep into a 6-figure debt from tuition. I soon realized that being financially independent would make me a better doctor, able to focus on what was really important to me, which was keeping and getting my patients better. Now, my dream or my definite major purpose is I hope to be able to practice medicine with no concerns about getting paid because of what I am learning in the Internet Business Mastery Academy. Money is definitely a touchy topic for most people because of all the attached emotions and our personal experiences with it. And I think that's an excellent point. I mean, I've definitely had periods of my life where I end up in survival mode. And I think a lot of people end up living their life and are right now just stuck in survival mode. And the sad truth about that state is that it does make it really hard to, make any meaningful strides towards your own happiness, towards your own, purpose in life, let alone have any meaningful impact on other people's lives. I know, to give another example, my wife is her passion has been relationships, helping people have better relationships.